increasing kind of job. देखो सबसे टॉप लेवल पे क्या रखा है? एग्रीकल्चर इक्विपमेंट ऑपरेटर्स. Now many of you may not be recognized here. ये ऐसा कैसे हो गया? Okay, world over agriculture is now getting mechanized. एग्रीकल्चर इक्विपमेंट के लिए बहुत सारी जॉब्स की स्किल क्या बढ़ा हुआ है. तो एग्रीकल्चर इक्विपमेंट रोबोटिक्स इन एग्रीकल्चर, ऑन एग्रीकल्चर. India agriculture is the biggest employment occupation. More than half of Indian population directly dependent on agriculture. So the big job coming there. Have you tried self-driver? देखो वो नहीं है प्राइवेटाइज का बात नहीं कर रहा. फिर भी देखो those kind of jobs vocational education teachers चाहिए is required. Okay. मशीनरी रिपेयरिंग इतने सारे रोबोट्स हैं ये को रिपेयर नहीं करना पड़ेगा. ओके आज तो जरूरत है यार कभी क्यों प्लान ना सारा वो पॉकेट में है. ओके आज किसी को बोलो कि 30 का करना है तो 30 का टेबल नहीं लगा करना ना. यू हैव एनी वाइस. ओके सो those skills which you have acquired at that time can change today. You need a new set of skills. Okay so we are focusing more on soft skills. So most of the private institutions including yours are focusing on soft skill training. That's where these skills are imbibed to be developed. ये सब skills पर बात करते हो. Analytical thinking चाहिए हो, creative thinking चाहिए, research flexibility चाहिए. कंपनी जब रेगुलर है ना ये टॉप कंपनी तो इस तरह की स्किल के लिए जाती है. वो ये नहीं देखते कि इतने परसेंटेज आ जाए. वो तो परसेंटेज मिनिमम बेंचमार्क क्राइटेरिया हो गया. But within that group what kind of skills they are looking at, and probably somebody might have spoken to you or somebody will discuss about you कि आज जब कोई कंपनी इंटरव्यू के लिए आती है तो सिर्फ इंटरव्यू नहीं होता. इंटरव्यू से पहले जीडी होता है. ओके जीडी से पहले एक क्वेश्चन पेपर लिया जाता है. What kind of skills do you have? So you need a skill called analytical thinking. चीज को एनालाइज करना है, सबके तरह नहीं सोचना है. How do we analyze the situation? That is analytical thinking. You need creative thinking. You have to be more creative in your approach. You need resilience, flexibility and agility. Resilience, flexibility. How adaptable you are. How fast you can come out from the defeat. यहाँ तो होता है कि किसी ने बोल दिया 4 दिन तक वो दिमाग को घूमता रहता. Okay, how flexible you are, that is somewhere we are important. Motivation, self awareness. अब तक सबको एक वर्ड पता होगा SWOT analysis, SWOT. अगर इस जनरेशन को बोला जाए ना कागज और पेन लेके अपना SWOT analysis करो तो अपनी स्ट्रेंथ भी नहीं पता, अपनी वीकनेस भी नहीं पता. So you do not know yourself. Now if you do not know yourself, how will you present yourself to a company? Okay, so self-awareness, how motivated you are, that's very important comes in. Curiosity and lifelong learning. Learning doesn't end with the education. हम बोलते हैं सही पढ़ाई तो कॉलेज के बाद शुरू होती है, लेकिन कॉलेज के बाद की जो सही पढ़ाई शुरू करने वाले हो उसका ट्रेनिंग आपको यहाँ पे मिलेगा. 3 साल में ट्रेनिंग लेके जाना है, नहीं तो 2 साल और पढ़ाई करनी पड़ेगी. Okay, so that's how curious you are about new things, learning new things, understanding new things. That is a curiosity that we take. You need to be technologically literate. We always say that probably I have been trying it out with HR personally. वो बोला ना we are taxation generation. उसको गूगल से दिया और बहुत दिया काम करना ये फॉर्मूला लगा था. आपको वर्ड एक्सेस से बाहर नहीं आया. विकिपीडिया से कॉपी करके असेसमेंट में पेश करते हैं. ये नहीं बोला कि वहां पर ऑनलाइन है ना कर लिए रिव्यू हाइपरलिंक कर सकते हैं। फिर जब पूछो कि ये अंडरलाइन क्यों किया है, सर ये इंपॉर्टेंट है और हमें पता काम अक्सर लेके जाओ तो हाइपरलिंक नहीं आएगा। नाउ दिस इज व्हाट टेक्नोलॉजिकल लिटरेसी यू हैव। और आपको लग रहा है ये रिस्क में स्टेप कर रहा, ये टेक्नोलॉजिकल लिटरेसी वो नहीं है। यू आर गोइंग टू बी लिटरेट, अंडरस्टैंडिंग टेक्नोलॉजी वो सीखना पड़ेगा। एआई एमएल समझ में आएगा कि नहीं आए, वीडियोस में देख के क्या करना पड़ेगा, लार्ज लैंग्वेज मॉडल होता क्या है, ये काम कैसे कर रहा है। AI implementation, Government of India was united. He showed us a website called this person does not exist.com. This person does not exist.com. That's the website. And if you go to the website and just click an image, that AI will create a person image. एक फोटो में लगा देगा और आपको लगेगा हाँ यार किसी का फोटो लगा हुआ है, लेकिन ये रोज रोज रखा ये बंदा एग्जिस्ट ही नहीं करता। And that image is as accurate as any of the images we can take using our standard device. तो इंसान का फोटो बना रहा है तो एग्जिस्ट ही नहीं करता। That's where starting point of AI. This part of generative AI. Now imagine how things are going to move. Okay, हो सकता है कि 2 साल के बाद यहाँ कोई ओरिएंटेशन में लेक्चर ले रहा हो, लेकिन वो यहाँ कोई नहीं, वो अपने घर में बैठा यही इसको प्रोग्राम में आपको है कि हाँ सारा लेक्चर और हो सकता है कि आप भी अपने घर में बैठे हो लेकिन वर्चुअल ऐसा लग रहा है कि अपनी जगह बैठे हो। Things have to change. That's where you need कदम चुक गए, टेक्नोलॉजी रोज बढ़ रही है। आप सोचो कि हर चीज क्लास में सिखाई जाएगी, वो पॉसिबल नहीं। ओके, क्लास में सिखाया जाएगा कैसे सीखना है, सीखना तो खुद को है। Your syllabus is nearly not more than 5% of our market need. 90% has to be yours. That's where lifelong learning comes in. Okay, then dependently attention should be taken. कंप्यूटर लर्निंग करके इसको करेंगे तो इसको क्या डिपेंड करता है देन यू कैन फाइट टू व्हाट सेंस समबडी कैन रिलाई ऑन या होता है 4 6 वेट करने के बाद अंदर सो हाउ टू व्हाट एक्सटेंट यू आर डिपेंडेबल टू व्हाट एक्सटेंट समबडी कैन डिपेंड ऑन यू और चीजों को माइन्यूटली देखने का वो नजरिया चाहिए डिटेल पार्ट कि कैसे क्या था यहां पर डॉट मिसिंग है। ओके, यहाँ पर क्या नहीं है, यहाँ पे चीज गलत है, दैट्स व्हाट डिटेल पार्ट। सो टू व्हाट एक्सटेंट यू हैव दैट देन एक्टिव लिसनिंग जो इस जनरेशन में बहुत सीखी है। Listening skill which company needs. Okay, then empathy, एक empathetic behavior भी चाहिए। They are looking at how empathetic you are. You need leadership. You need social influence. How connected you are. What kind of leader you are. And then quality control. How quality conscious you are. Now imagine these are the skills जो 2023 में चाहिए। So these are the skills which were required in 2023. आज जब 24 के अगस्त में है, okay, this might have changed a bit. So what is required is you need to identify in skill पे 1 to 10 में how you rate yourself. If you can do that, half of the job that's where things comes in. Next. These are the skill which they say are going to be rising. मतलब उनकी नीड ज़्यादा बढ़ने वाली है. तो अगर आप बोलते हो कि I cannot go on about that skill, let me focus on some of the skill. So So if you want to give a priority to the skill list, the topmost starts in creative thinking. How creative you are. और probably what has happened is ये जो मोबाइल डिवाइस है ना वो हमारी क्रिएटिविटी खत्म कर चुका है। आई कैन गिव यू गारंटी कि हर एक को अगर एक पेज दे दिया जाए ना ब्लैंक पेज या पेपर और बोल दिया जाए ना write something about yourself, not about your name and birthday and all those things, about yourself. Okay, 3 4 5 सेंटेंस के बाद बंद हो जाएगा दिमाग. Okay, so it's very important for you to be original and to be creative. वो important creative thinking and believe me your university may be conducting there are courses on creative thinking. Start working on those courses, start developing that skill, that creative thinking, analytical thinking. Genuinely technological literacy जो बात कर रहे हो अपने आप को लिटरेट करो. My son again your age first year college में भी आया है. When he was as a part of induction he was asked to make presentation in a group. As he was studying पापा PPT में एनिमेशन कैसे बनाते हैं ऐसे. So what technology literacy you have? अगर आपको एनिमेशन करना नहीं आता, पीपीटी बैकग्राउंड चेंज नहीं कर सकते हो, डिजाइनर नहीं बना सकते हो, what kind of literacy you need to have? टेक्नोलॉजिकल लिटरेसी. लेटेस्ट टेक्नोलॉजी के साथ अपडेट रहना. और उसका क्या सिंपल सा तरीका पता मैंने ऑफ गो टू गूगल. वी हैव गूगल news.google.com. ओके गूगल न्यूज़ में जाओगे तो पता है किस तरह के न्यूज़ पढ़ने हैं. There is a separate section on technology news. Click on that technology. It will give you all the news related to technology. Make it a habit. You will have very good learning on the technological section. But even computer literacy. To be honest, you need to work on that. Okay? Curiosity, like लगानी, ये स्किल के बारे में है तो अगर प्रायोरिटी लिस्ट बना है आपका तो ये लिस्ट बनने वाला है. ठीक है. सो पहले आप क्रिएटिविटी में काम करना पड़ेगा, एनालिटिकल एबिलिटी पे काम करो, टेक्नोलॉजिकल एबिलिटी करो, क्यूरियोसिटी डेवलप करो, नई चीजें सीखनी है. सेल्फ लर्निंग, समथिंग व्हिच इज हैपनिंग बियॉन्ड क्लासरूम. क्यूरियोसिटी चीजें सीखने की नई चीजें मुझे सीखनी है. जिस फील्ड में मुझे अपना करियर बनाना है, where you see yourself after 5 years, 10 years, what kind of skills are required, how do I acquire the skill, can I learn beyond classroom, that's where it comes in. Flexibility, resilience, agility, the same list are there. अब उसमें भी एक big data, कौन से नंबर पे आया, 7 नंबर पे आया, वो बात की बात है, लेकिन उससे पहले ये जरूरी है. So again, enroll for some course online. Okay, can I start learning on my own? And there is enough material available now. YouTube पे जाओ. Okay, जितना इतना भी तो रेंज पे आ गई. Okay, कभी जो मास्टर्स में एडमिशन लिए हैं, by the time you get into markets, this is the skill that is required. उन कंपनियों को पूछा गया था तो 803 companies. What kind of skill do you think will be required by 2027? तो 27 में क्या skill का क्या हुआ? और ये प्राइवेट skill दिखा है. This is the top 10 skill that companies are looking at in future. ठीक है, वो थोड़ा बता रहा है. So analytical thinking चाहिए, creativity, AI and big data. Companies are looking at this kind of thing. Irrespective of the sector, क्योंकि वो जो 803 companies थी ना, they belong to 45 different sectors. और आप उसी किसी सेक्टर में जाने वाले हो, तो ये स्किल का रिक्वायरमेंट होगा. So soon can start working on this next. Yeah. Now this is there and presented in slightly different way. how what are the challenges that companies are facing? कंपनीज को बोला जाएगा कि ये स्किल में आपका बड़ा चैलेंज क्या है, एंड टॉप मोस्ट इज लोग 60% कंपनीज आर फेसिंग स्किल गैप इन द लोकल लेबर मार्केट्स। टाइम्स ऑफ इंडिया आज का जो आर्टिकल की बात कर रहा हूं जहां उन्होंने स्किल का बोला था, द एंटरप्रेन्योर्स हैव सेड दैट वी हैव नो चॉइस बट टू गेट इनटू टेक्नोलॉजी बिकॉज़ वी आर नॉट गेटिंग द राइट काइंड ऑफ मैन पावर। सो कंपनीज के पास चॉइस है, आपको रखेगी टेक्नोलॉजी अडॉप्ट करें, जिस कंपनी टेक्नोलॉजी अडॉप्ट करेगी जो आपकी जरूरत है तो वही। ओके, सो दिस इज अ बिग चैलेंज दैट दोस कंपनीज आर आल्सो फेसिंग कि 60% कंपनीज ने बोला कि लोकल लेवल पे हमारे पास जो स्किल रिक्वायरमेंट है वैसा मैन पावर अवेलेबल नहीं है, क्योंकि अगर पढ़ाई कर रहे हैं तो अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट को पोस्टपोन कर रहे हैं। ओके, दूसरा रीजन many of you, and this is a typical culture, education for us is something that add value in marriage market. लगना मजा मत ले बड़े छोकरों को छोकरे से शादी। And third most important is you want to get an education because you are looking at the skill. एंड ऑफ द डे आपको पता है कि ये सारी स्किल की रिक्वायरमेंट है और ये मुझे एजुकेशन से मिलने वाला है। अगर आप उससे में एजुकेशन करते हो तो वेरी गुड, अदरवाइज एजुकेटेड अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट वो हमें दूर करना पड़ेगा। बी ऑनेस्ट विद दैट। सेकंड, इनएबिलिटी टू अट्रैक्ट टैलेंट, मतलब ये हुआ है 53% कंपनी ने बोल दिया कि मार्केट में थोड़ा बहुत टैलेंट अवेलेबल है लेकिन हम अट्रैक्ट नहीं कर पाते, जो जगह हमारे इलाका नहीं है। ओके, बाकी जो जगह अवेलेबल है हम उसको अट्रैक्ट नहीं कर पाते, हमारी इतनी एबिलिटी नहीं है। देन आउटडेटेड एंड फ्लेक्सिबल गवर्नमेंट रेगुलेशन की बात करते हैं कि दैट आर रेगुलेटरी फ्रेमवर्क्स गवर्नमेंट इज वर्किंग ऑन इट। टिपिकली इन इंडिया वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट ईज ऑफ डूइंग बिजनेस, दिस वेयर गवर्नमेंट वर्किंग ऑन दिस। स्किल गैप फैमिली ऑर्गेनाइजेशन रेगुलेशन में स्किल गैप है, वो भी बड़ा चैलेंज होता है। एंड कैपिटल बिजनेस तो बोलते हैं कि बिजनेस को कैपिटल नहीं मिल रहा है, वो कैपिटल बिजनेस में काम करता था। द मोस्ट चैलेंजिंग इज स्किल गैप, और स्किल आपको बताना है। इसलिए ऐसा है कि आज एंड्रॉइड के जमाने में ओके कोई नोकिया बेच रहा है, वो बेचेगा धंधा नहीं होगा। नेक्स्ट, now this is again something important for you, बहुत से रिलेटेड इमेजेस चूज की। कंपनी को बोला गया कि अगर आपको ये सारे चैलेंजेस है तो उसके लिए आप क्या प्लान कर रहे हो, आपकी स्ट्रेटजी क्या है, अभी पता चले ना क्या सोच रहे हैं। सो व्हाट इज देयर स्ट्रेटजी अबाउट दिस चैलेंजेस? तो सबसे बड़ी स्ट्रेटजी उन्होंने बताया गया, इन्वेस्ट इन लर्निंग एंड ट्रेनिंग ऑन द जॉब। 81% ऑफ द रिस्पोंडेंट, मतलब क्या बोल रहे हैं कंपनी बोला हमारे पास कोई चॉइस ही नहीं है, हमारी स्ट्रेटजी है कि हम ऑन द जॉब ट्रेनिंग दें। अब जब 81% कंपनी के पास ऑन द जॉब ट्रेनिंग के अलावा कोई रास्ता नहीं है, उसमें अगर कोई ऐसा बंदा मिल जाए जिसको ट्रेनिंग की जरूरत ही ना हो तो you will be the first choice because then companies save a lot of money for the training. That's where the required need is. Second, automation of processes. How much? 80%. कंपनी को लगा अगर मैन पावर नहीं मिलेगा तो हमारे सारे प्रोसेस को ऑटोमेशन कर देंगे, मतलब वी डोंट वांट मैन पावर, मशीन लेकर आ जाएंगी। अगर मुझे मैन पावर अच्छा मिल जाता तो आई डोंट रिक्वायर रोबोट्स। ओके, ऑटोमेशन मुझे नहीं करना लेकिन मिल नहीं रहा है, मिल रहा है वो काम का नहीं है, काम का है तो मेरी एबिलिटी नहीं है उसको रखने की। दैट्स वेयर वी हैव नो चॉइस बट टू गेट इनटू ऑटोमेशंस। दैट्स कंपनीज आर लुकिंग एट। देन एग्जिस्टिंग वर्कफोर्स का रोल चेंज करना है, वो चेंज करना पड़ेगा। आउटसोर्सिंग भी ऑप्शन निकाला है ये लोग, एंड कॉन्ट्रैक्ट वर्क, कॉन्ट्रैक्ट पे काम देना पड़ेगा। ओके, सो एज अ स्टूडेंट कैन यू डू समथिंग हियर? कर सकते हैं ना? तो अगर हम जो 81% कंपनी है, कंपनी को जाके बोलूंगा कि लोग उसके पास भी ग्रेजुएशन है, मेरे पास भी ग्रेजुएशन है, उसको ट्रेनिंग देना पड़ेगा, मैं कोई ट्रेन बंदा हूं, आ जाओ, जॉब्स आर हेवी, ओके, यू नीड टू वर्क अपॉन दैट। तो ये सारा प्रोफाइल पे काम करना पड़ेगा, एंड बिलीव मी यू आर एट द राइट जंक्शन। ये प्रेजेंटेशन हालांकि वर्ल्ड इकोनॉमिक फोरम ने सबके लिए बनाया है, आप लोगों के लिए बहुत ज्यादा जरूरी बनता है, बिकॉज यू आर एट द राइट टर्निंग पॉइंट एंड यू हैव अ टाइम। यही प्रेजेंटेशन अगर कोई कॉन्वोकेशन में देगा तो बता क्या करेगा, मुझे तो जॉब मार्केट में जाना हो। So you have full 3 years, 5-year time to recognize this need, develop the skill, and believe me, if you, anybody from you want to make sure that yes, I want to acquire the skill, you have a right opportunity right now. और normally मैं गुजराती में हमारी कहावत बोलता हूँ, एक phrase बोलता हूँ, तकने आगोड़ बाबा पाछो तालो, ये typical गुजराती, मैं उसका थोड़ा ट्रांसलेट करके देता हूँ। तकने नहीं, आगोड़ बाबा पाछो तालो, ये प्रॉपर मैं दादाजी के जमाने का तक अपॉर्चुनिटी, बोलते हैं अपॉर्चुनिटी जो है उसके आगे बात होते हैं और पीछे बात होती है। What does it mean? It means if you want to grab an opportunity, you can grab the opportunity when the opportunity is coming to you. क्योंकि आगे पकड़ पाओगे, opportunity चाहिए, उसके बाद क्या करना है तो हाथ नहीं आएगा कि टाटा है। For you, this is the right opportunity that is coming to you. किसको में आ रहा है? Look at the kind of structure they have. Look at the kind of team of the faculty member that they have. The lab that they have. Your colleagues that they have. And most important, 3 to 5 years of time that they have. For you, this is an opportunity. And if you want, opportunities knocking your door. Knocking your door. Only thing is you have to grab it up. If you can grab, entire world is with you. नहीं तो क्या होगा, अपॉर्चुनिटी चली गई, उसके बाद अरे यार ये तो था लेकिन हमने किया नहीं। So that's where the challenge may come. So it's up to you how do you grab, and I'm sure that your time at this university under the leadership of the entire team that we have, the faculties, dean, director, your most active vice chancellors that we have, and you have great time and all the best. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much, Dr. Kishore sir, for such a wonderful talk and how nicely he talked about opportunities. And I would like to say that opportunities never knock your door twice, so grab it as fast as you can. Thank you very, very much for such an inspiring talk. So Parag sir, who is the provost of PB Savani University, who has come up with this wonderful thought. Please join me in giving a very, very warm and respectful welcome to our provost, Dr. Parag Savani sir. Welcome sir to our program. Now to further illuminate our path and offer us deep insights, it is now my distinct honor and privilege to invite our esteemed provost on the stage to share his words of wisdom and motivate our new batch of 2024.
Jai Bharat, good morning, respected dignitaries on dais, my faculty colleagues and dear students. Welcome to BPSU family. I think you have some days here, so you are accustomed with our environment, and I say that welcome to the family. It means that we are family not only by words but by means. It's always our President Vallabhbhai Savani's vision that he would like to build a state-of-the-art institutions in South Gujarat to give the local students the exposure of a global level at the same time at the local cost. I happened to be recently in Spain and Italy, in Europe, I was in Australia, I had worked in somewhere in UAE. I can definitely say kind of opportunities which we Indians have right now is with no one. We are at the verge of, we are calling that emergent India, and you all are the pioneer of that. But this kind of words will not work. Majority time I found that our students lack confidence. Our students lack belief in ourselves. When you go abroad, if you see right now, more than 60 to 70% UAE nurses are Indian. You go in US, majority of professors in American universities are Indian. But same things when you try, majority of Fortune 500 companies now, if you say top companies, CEOs are Indian, right? We all have. Why we are able to do outside and we are not able to do within India? We have to introspect. And that's where I say is that the major lacuna is believing in yourself. First thing is that you have to believe yourself. अगर आपको अपने आप पे भरोसा नहीं है, और उसका भी रीजन है, because we never know why we are doing MBA, right? All the skills and everything are there, but you should be very clear why you have opted for MBA. Because after graduation there was no job opportunity, you want to continue to the your college life. That's why we took the MBA or a business management. What is the reason? Why you took after 12 only BBA or BCom, or what is the reason? Until unless we are very clear on this question, all other things will not help us. Because we have to ask ourselves what we want to do, and this is the right time. We have to ask ourselves whether I wanted to be a one of the among, or whether I will be a someone unique. And God has created everyone unique. You have a skills. You have to just believe in yourself. Everyone would like to become Sachin Tendulkar, or everyone would like to become a celebrities, but no one is ready to work hard like a celebrities. Everyone wants salary of Amitabh Bachchan, but they don't want to work 16-17 hours at the age of 72, 74 also. Everyone wants the benefit, but no one wants to sacrifice. I would like to make a very clear sentence. Everything in life gain at the cost of something. Nothing is free in this world. So you decide what you want, and for that what you would like to sacrifice. Sometimes you have to sacrifice your friend's wedding, चाचा के लड़के की शादी, मामा के लड़के की शादी, ये दोस्तों के साथ घूमना फिरना. If you have goal, so first and foremost my request to each one of you, you should have a goal. और आज की तारीख में पैसा कमाना गोल नहीं होना चाहिए. पैसा बाय प्रोडक्ट है. The money is by product of what you like and what you do. Many students ask, sir, आपकी कॉलेज में पैकेज कितना का मिलेगा? My answer is always that मैंने यहाँ पैकेज ही नहीं मिलेगा. क्योंकि if you like whatever you want to do, पैकेज ऑटोमेटिक आपको ढूंढता हुआ है. और जो सिर्फ पैकेज के लिए करते हो, 3 साल बाद 4 साल बाद फ्रस्ट्रेट होते हैं, फिर बीपी की गोलियां, डायबिटीज की गोलियां, साइकोलॉजिकल गोलियां. क्यों? क्योंकि वो काम कर रहे हैं जिसमें बिल्कुल मन नहीं है. पैसा मिल रहा है बट मजा नहीं आ रहा है. और आज की तारीख में जो मजा है वो काम करोगे तो पैसा अपने आप मिलेगा. बहुत सारी मूवीज आप देखते जाओ, जहाँ पे भी 3 इडियट्स से लेके आप कोई भी जो मूवीज है वो हमें यही सिखाती है कि whatever you like, if you do, अभी श्रीकांत आई थी, if you are passionate about something, you can do that. And for that you need believe in yourself. लोग बोलेंगे तेरे से नहीं होगा, नहीं कर सकते, ये नहीं होगा. अब मांझी मूवी देखोगे तो पावर ऑफ वन, एक आदमी क्या कर सकता है, बट वो डिटर्मिनेशन कहाँ से लाएगा, वो कहाँ से आएगा. और ये सारी चीजें सुनने में अच्छी लगती है, करने में बहुत डिफिकल्ट है. And that's why these are the years when you have to rise your own willpower, कि जो एक बार डिसाइड किया वो करना है. और कैसे करेंगे? Many times students have a habit कि set up a goal, कि ऐसा भाषण सुना, ये और इंडक्शन प्रोग्राम में गए, उसके बाद we all started, कल से I will change. वो सब वॉशिंग पाउडर में डो के कल से एकदम वाइट नया. कल से टाइम टेबल बनेगा, जिम जाऊंगा, ये करूंगा, रोज बुक पढ़ूंगा, ये करूंगा, 2 दिन के बाद उसमें से 70% नहीं होता है, सब बंद। बोले टाइम टेबल बनाना ही नहीं है, ये क्या देख के टेंशन होता है ना ऐसा। So my request and my advice to all of you is that you cannot change overnight. जो भी चेंज आते हैं, ये क्लाइमेट चेंज, ये सब आप देखिए, ये सारे चेंज स्लोली आते हैं। परिवर्तन स्लो होता है, चेंज होता है, बट स्लो है। दैट्स व्हाई एवरी डे एक छोटी सी चीज कीजिए और उसको विन कीजिए। जैसे आज डिसाइड किया कि आज मैं 1 घंटे पढ़ूंगा, बस अगर वो आपने कर लिया तो आप धीरे धीरे यू विल बी एबल टू मेक इट अ बिग चेंजेस। People want to change drastically, it's not happening. These are the years where slow changes, habit की क्लास में मैं टाइम पे जाऊंगा, छोटी सी हैबिट है। I am the victim कि मेरे को आदत थी हर बार क्लास में 20 मिनट 15 मिनट लेट ही जाने का, क्योंकि इंजीनियरिंग स्टूडेंट्स था तो चलता है 8 10 8 15 को गए, फिर निकल दिया तो कैंटीन में बैठ के चाय पी। That has cost me a lot. When I joined my first job, वो पंचिंग शुरू हो गया इंजीनियरिंग के बाद। पहले महीने में सिर्फ 12 दिन की तनख्वाह आई, पड़ गई। हार्डवेयर में सीखा कि टाइम पे पहुंचना जरूरी है, और यही हैबिट है। These are the habits. कई फॉरेन की यूनिवर्सिटी में मैं पढ़ाता हूँ और मैं देखता हूँ स्टूडेंट्स है हैबिट की, असाइनमेंट देते हो तो असाइनमेंट कैसे भी कुछ करके लास्ट मिनट में सबमिट कर दिया। I said that is your signature. अगर असाइनमेंट में ठीक से फ्रंट पेज, नाम, टाइटल, और ये हैबिट फॉर्म हुई, that habit automatically ये सब skills आती। But that attitude formations, character formations, these all are the years where you can do it. कि मैं जिम जाऊंगा, अगर जितना मैंने उस टाइम पे अपने आप को फिजिकली फिट किया, वही मेरी हैबिट बन गई है जो मेरे को आगे लेके जाती है। Management education, executive education, commerce education, you have to be disciplined, and that is coming from nature. आपने कभी देखा सूरज ने बोला कि आज नहीं निकलूंगा, आज बहुत काम कर लिया, 364 डेज काम के 1 दिन छुट्टी, ऐसा होता है? सन बोलेगा कि नहीं बहुत काम किया यार। एज ए इंजीनियरिंग स्टूडेंट मुझे भी बहुत ऐसा लगता था कि क्या ये डिसिप्लिन नहीं, कुछ नहीं, बट स्लोली एंड स्लोली आई लर्न नेचर इज डिसिप्लिन, लाइफ हैज टू बी डिसिप्लिन। नहीं चलेगा। पहले मेरे को कोई ऐसा भाषण देता आपके जैसे बैठे, मतलब क्या बकवास करते हैं, एंजॉय करने में लाइफ, रात को 4 बजे तक जगो, क्या है ये सब। बट देन आई रियलाइज नेचर हैज अ फुल डिसिप्लिन, सीजंस, रेन्स, you see everywhere the nature which is discipline, and that's why you have to discipline. There are scientific, I can take one hour lecture on why discipline, because in every segment of nature there is a discipline, and that's why we all are surviving, and that's why we have to be disciplined. अभी आपको समझ में नहीं आएगा, बट एक बार डिसिप्लिन रह के देखो, you will realize the benefits of discipline, and this is determination, discipline. All other things will follow if you will go by these basic rules. Life will be great, and these are the years where you have to make such habits. Coming on time, respecting your teacher. It's not respecting whoever your teacher. Because they feel that they can provide you technical knowledge, they can provide you the technical knowledge, but if your attitude, if your character, if you are not good human being, you will not be successful. New era is of a, in artificial intelligence, what we call it as a creativity, innovations, this all is must now, and that can be only developed in this years. My request to each one of you that please, go by these rules, have a small changes, have a small victory daily, and you can be one of the successful people. And success measure is different for every people, but I say you become a happiest person. I was just yesterday with Piyush Goyalji, I think on a Saturday we were releasing one book, and at that time one person has says, what is the purpose of education? I like very much that. He says that पुरुषार्थ करके जो अर्न करते उसको परमार्थ में यूज करना, पुरुषार्थ से अर्निंग करके परमार्थ में यूज करना, that is the purpose of education. कि आपको जो कुछ करने के लिए गए, और that will help the society, that will help the well-being of a mankind. If you earn with that way, your wealth is purposeful. Otherwise, whatever wealth you have, वो रावण की wealth है, वो राम की wealth है. So please try to do that. I also like, one of the book which I always recommend to all my students. Richard Bach has written a one, good small booklet that is called Seagull. And there, Gujarati version છે સાગર પંખી, મીરાબેન ભટ્ટ has translated that. If you get an opportunity, એમની movie પણ એક YouTube ઉપર છે. It's a story of a Jonathan Livingston Seagull. એક સાગર પંખી છે, and how he one stage after one stage he develops himself, and that's the journey of every individual in this, particularly students. That you have to learn something, then you have to go against the society. If you go against the society, learn something, reach one level, again you have to. આપણે 12માં હતા તો કે બેટા આ વર્ષ ભણી લે, then you don't have to study further. 12માં percent when you are in college, people say okay, just આ વખતે સારી ડિગ્રી ગોલ્ડ મેડલ લઈને કે percentage સરકાર, that's all over. But you realize when you go to the field, it's enough every day you have to work for 8 hours, 10 hours, 15 hours. Every stage you have to learn and upgrade yourself. Learning never ends. When learning ends, person ends. And that's why I request, read that book of Jonathan Livingston Seagull, which talks a good characteristics of students, that gives a good idea about what you need to do in life. Jonathan Livingston Seagull, that is a book Richard Bach has written. Read sometimes that book. And I just would like to say that in PP Savani universities, we are only able to provide you facilities. I can take horse up to the lake, but ultimately drinking has to be done by the horse. If you don't do, if someone say we have Coursera, we have IPDC, we have a lot of extracurricular activities. Professor Abhishek has, an entire team, the Professor Rajesh and in MBA department, we are trying to do lot of things. In BBA, Dr. Tejal, in Ankit, Dr. Ankit Shah, in BCom, MBA program over Dr. Jainish Bhagat, so all we are trying to do a lot of new things. Our BA program in psychology, Professor Kurikos and all that international. So we try to integrate liberal studies into management. We try to do a lot of things, but who will take benefit of that? It's you, right? So will you promise us that whatever facilities are, you will use that? Yes or no? Yeah, regularly. See, that's why I said in MBA, we will always make a classes on Sunday. I asked Professor Abhishek, mandatory make a classes on Sunday. Make it at 7 o'clock, make it at 8 o'clock, because you have to be prepared for managerial life, right? It's not that okay, 5 days and holidays. No, you have to be prepared for any time, and that's what we do. We have a IMA business lab. We wanted to make a simulation studies here. We want you to study. We have a lot of databases which require, but if all these facilities, if you don't use, what is the use of that? And that's why I insist all management students has to do the life skills. I have seen many times MBA students પણ એક application લખતા ન આવડે English માં. Then what is the use? MBA students ને bank માંથી DD કઢાવતા ન આવે. BCom students હોય, they are not able to do what is DD in bank, what is online banking, they don't know. What is the tax, income tax, they don't know. So in PPSU, we want to mold that, and that's why last year I started program કે છોકરીઓએ કાર શીખવાની, કારનું મેન્ટેનન્સ, કાર ગાડી ચલાવતા આવડે. જનરલી એવું હોય કે કોઈ પણ લેડીઝ ગાડી ચલાવતો એટલે બંધ થઈ જાય એટલે મૂકીને ઊભું રહી જવાનું, કોઈને ફોન કરવાનો, ભાઈને, પપ્પાને. So we want PPSU ladies should be able to maintain their car. Same way we started cooking classes. Unfortunately we are not able to materialize that, but we have a make say every student should know basic cooking, because these all are the life skills. તમે મેનેજર થઈ જાઓ પણ તમને ચા બનાવતા પણ નહીં આવડતી હોય, આ ચાના પૈસા આપવાને હશે પણ ઘણીવાર ચા બનાવવાના જ નહીં હોય, પૈસા જ નહીં પડે. New era is about the life skills which you need. In US, Europe, everywhere people are $1 billion, but still they have to do themselves, right? And that's why the life skill is very necessary. રેલવેનું રિઝર્વેશન કેમ કરાવવું આવડવું જોઈએ. That is the differentiation between person with the exposure and persons with the, you are maybe experts but you don't know basic things. Many people don't know basic financial skills. What is saving account, what is deposit, what is stock market, how to invest. These all are the very, very important life skills which we has made it mandatory that all PPSU students do it. And that's why we have a lot of activity here where you have to participate. And our role is to show you what is the required in the life. At the same time, we wish that our students, whenever pass out from PPSU, they will be a good human being. Character સારું હોવું જોઈએ PPSU ના વિદ્યાર્થીઓ. Knowledge તો હવે Google થી મળે છે, હવે AI આવી ગયું છે, no need. My daughter is now only asking AI that what is all question assignment ready. Right? It's now all is available. Every assignment હમણાં સાહેબ રજિસ્ટર આપશે તમને બધા AI માંથી ડાઉનલોડ, but that is not required. Required is skill set. સાહેબે કીધું એમ સ્વિમિંગમાં A ગ્રેડ આવી જવાથી ડુમસના દરિયામાં તરી નહીં શકાય. એના માટે સ્વિમિંગ આવડવું પડશે. એવરી ટાઈમ આઈ ટેલ ટુ માય સ્ટુડન્ટ્સ કે તમને A ગ્રેડ A+ બધાને સ્વિમિંગમાં જાવ, અત્યારે જઈને ડુમસમાં પડો. કેટલા પડશે? Still we fight for the grade, we don't fight for skill, and that is our major thrust. We wanted you to be a swimmer. Grade કંઈ પણ હોય, સારો સ્વિમર હશે તો એની જરૂરિયાત પડવાની જ છે. nobody is asking. અત્યારે કેટલા લોકો ડોક્ટર પાસે જાય અને એનું સર્ટિફિકેટ માંગે A+ હોય તો જ તમારી દવા લેવાની. Are we going to do that? મિકેનિકને તમે સર્ટિફિકેટ પૂછો છો કે એવા મિકેનિકને જ કાઢી આપીશ કે જેને 80% ઉપર આવેલા હોય મિકેનિક કે સારો મિકેનિક ગોતો છો, સારો ડોક્ટર ગોતો છો, સારો એન્જિનિયર ગોતો છો. See, everyone needs skills, and that's why whole curriculum of PPSC has been designed for practical applicability to make your work. આજે અમારે કમાન્ડો બનાવવાના હોય, પ્રહાર પિક્ચરમાં આવતું એક જૂનું પિક્ચર છે. ઇફ આઈ હેવ ટુ મેક યુ કમાન્ડો, બેટા બેસી जा, બેટા એસીમાં જ રહેજે, જમી લે, આવું કરું તો કેન આઈ મેક યુ કમાન્ડો? એનર્જી કમાન્ડો હોય અને મમ્મી બાજુમાં બેસાડે કે બેટાને વાગી જશે, બેટાને આવું થઈ જશે, તો કેન વી મેક ઇટ એનર્જી કમાન્ડો? So if I have to make you energy commando, I have to work very hard. એટલે જેટલા અભિષેક સર કે રિધિશ સર કે અમારા મેડમ કે કોઈ પણ તમારા ઉપર સ્ટ્રિક્ટ થાય ને એટલે એટલું માનજો કે they are very very concerned for you. And that's why we have very strict few rules. Attendance માં નહીં ચાલે એટલે નહીં ચાલે. હજી પણ કહું છું, જો અહીંયા attendance ના આપવાની હોય તો બીજી એટલી બધી ઘણી બધી યુનિવર્સિટીઝ છે where you can directly get certificate. પણ એવું સ્વિમિંગ જેવું મળશે, સ્વિમિંગ નહીં કરી શકે. એટલે જેને ખાલી સર્ટિફિકેટ જોતું હોય, પ્લીઝ લીવ PPSC. If you are only interested in degrees, we are not there. We are here to build your character. We are here build to your career. So we will do that, and that will be a hard way, and that will be little bit difficult way, but that is the only way you can be successful in the and in PPSU no compromise. If you need drugs, if you need alcohol, this is not right place. Nothing doing from first day. We are telling you, if we found anything, તમારી આજુબાજુ તમારો રૂમ પાર્ટનર પણ કરતો તમે એમાં નહીં આવતા, જાણ કરી દેજો, otherwise you will be in trouble. Right? Few no tolerance, zero tolerance policy, fighting not allowed. We are here for discussion, debate, but if you want to fight, go somewhere else. PPSU is not part of that. Both will be submitted. Right? કોનો વાંક છે? Nothing doing. If you are fighting, don't in campus, go. So few things is zero tolerance policy. I think everyone should know it. We are here to help you. We are here to make your career. We are here for you only. But at the same time, it's a reciprocal things. If you look for respect, give respect to your teachers, give respect to the institution where, give respect to the properties of the institutions, and that's what the management all is about. We wish you a very great career here, very great time here, and college life માં પણ PPSU પાછળ નથી. કોઈ પણ ટોપ મોસ્ટ કરો, દર્શન રાવલથી માંડીને સનમ બધાને અમે બોલાવીએ છીએ. We call everyone, we make sure that you enjoy your college life and you remember your college life for lifetime, because we understand the college life is for, lifetime memories. But at the same time, we have to understand that that's a respectful way. That's where the Indian culture, the Indian ethos, we want to inculcate you. Right? Ganpati, Janmashtami, you name it, kite flying, all festivals we celebrate. Eid, everything we are celebrating here, but at the same time, that is where the student has to contribute, student has to participate, student has to come forward, and then we will have a great time at PPSU. Once again, I assure you all that the decision of yours choosing PPSU for your career building is one of the best decisions of your life, and will make sure that we will do our best to give you a good capabilities which make you happy in your life. Right? Thank you. Wish you all the best. Jai.
Thank you so much, Parag sir, for such a This includes the data automation project for the fundamentals team, 100 employees to a more efficient tool. He's very passionate about data and analytics, and we are also very passionate, sir, to listen to your thoughts now. Over to you.
Okay, so I think in the meantime presentation comes, but first of all, thank you so much everyone for inviting me, and thanks Abhishek for inviting me here and share my experience. I think it's amazing to see such young people here, and I am so impressed with the sir here, with the sir, how much they are connected to the corporates, how much they know about the corporates. This is just amazing, to see that how much value they are bringing to the table, from the first day of your, the journey of BBA, BCom or MBA, and how much it would be helpful, to your future. No worries. So, how many of you know S&P Global? Have you heard the name? Can anyone summarize what is S&P Global? You can raise your hand. Let's do one thing. I think we have been sitting for quite a few hours. I think you all can stand up and stretch a little bit. Right? You all understand English, right? Pretty well. Able to understand, right? You all can stand up, stretch a little bit. Just to be more comfortable, and maybe few of you are in you can break as well and take a small break as well. That's a good idea. Take a small break as well. Good. it. I think it took like 7-8 minutes. That's fine. So, what is S&P Global? Anyone has any idea? A little bit. That's fine. Absolutely fine. You know. Anyone? Any MBA guys? MBA students here? Raise your hand. All BCom? BBA? Okay. How many of you are BBA? BBA student? Raise your hand. Okay. This side is all BBA. BCom? Okay. Backbenchers, all BCom. MBA? There you go. Right. This is the first question I asked. So, so I'll give a very brief about S&P Global, about myself, because I wanted to cover this topic, but I feel because we already have a really good session, and I don't want to repeat a lot of things, but I wanted to share my journey as well, right? A little bit, which might help you, all of you, to connect a little with your life as well, right? So S&P Global is a Fortune 500 companies, and I'm pretty sure, sir, what analysis sir shared of WHO must include S&P Global, right? It's a Standard & Poor. I think you all must have seen the or known CRISIL. CRISIL, everyone, MBA students, right? CRISIL Financial. So CRISIL is owned by S&P. So it works in a multiple streams, mainly on a financial market. You know, so if you are in finance, you should know what is S&P, right? You should know what is Moody. You should know what is FactSet. You should know what is Bloomberg, right? So these are few benchmark companies across the world. I would say knows the financial market much better than any other company across the world, right? So talking about myself, so I'm Jigar Shah, and I did my MBA Finance in NIC in Gandhinagar, and maybe before 20 years I was sitting just like you, right? Maybe on this corner, you know, because it was so easy to get in and sit there, and it's so easy to get out and go outside of the room. I was like that, right? So it was a classroom of 60 people, and maybe I might be, if I stack rank, you know, the top student to bottom student, I may be in last 5, right? That's where I was. But then what changed, I think my life, I would say, you know, so first of all, you know, so after doing my MBA, I started a job. It was a marketing job, you know, mutual fund, and that's where I think to start with, maybe many of you will go through, right? A bank job or marketing of a mutual fund, something like that, even though you did finance. And I was so poor, you know, I was so poor in marketing, and I even don't want to go for a job, right? So it was like that 2 months, and I feel like I'm so useless in the whole system, right? And I think Abhishek and I did my MBA together, and he was as I said, I was on bottom 5, right? He was like top 5, right? So pretty intelligent from the day one, and he was my good friend, and he got the job in S&P. So he started working with S&P, and I said, this is my mental state, and I feel like what to do now. And he said, come to S&P, you know, and I got the job. You know, so that's what a learning lesson number 1, a power of networking, right? Getting a good job. If you know people, if you know your seniors, let's say MBA students or BBA students, if you know who is where, and if you are able to impress some of your people, right? Not with talent, right? Not with your degree. I am absolutely in sync with what sir mentioned. I did 1,000 interviews in last 5 years, 1,000 interviews across 20 states, right? And I never see the grading. It's a 70%, 50%, 80%. I don't care, right? It's a moment of first 5 minutes. That's where we made a decision that this is a hire or no hire. No hire, 10 minutes, done. If you feel, yes, I think this is a good candidate, you stretch a little, you know, to complete your 30 minutes. But you made up your mind in first 5 minutes. When you introduce yourself, that's it. Right? You all understand me, what I'm saying? So that's where I started my journey with S&P. And then coming back to what sir mentioned, the top skills, right? The top skills are not your knowledge, fundamental knowledge, or a derivative knowledge, or quantitative analysis. I don't know all the subject, right? Or maybe economics, right? Those are not top skills. Those are knowledge. It's now available in your WhatsApp as well. You all seen that the search bar now? It has a AI in it. You ask a question, you get the answer. Now for that, I don't need people, right? I don't need to pay 6 lakh of a package or 10 lakh of package just to know what I can get it in a 1 minute. No. So what sir mentioned, I really need is a really good human, right? Who wanted to challenge themselves, who has a self-confidence, and who has a capacity that I don't know right now what I wanted to do, but I'll figure it out, right? By coming to your system, I learn the new culture, I learn the new technology, I learn the new fundamental aspect. I wanted to be good with my team, right? That's what we check in all the interviews, right? We don't want individual player. If you are able to hit 6 balls, 6 sixes, right? But you are always making your opponent run out. We don't want those people, right? We want people who work in a team. So that's a soft skill, right? That's what I'm talking about. Understanding yourself, self-awareness, self-confidence, and knowing others as well. How you can give that opportunity to someone, and how someone can also approach you where you are best, and making sure that you work as a team, and as a team we are successful. So that's what we need, right? And I also agree, right? We have a shift starting at 6:30 in the morning, right? Every day you have to show up at 6:30 in the morning. Every single day, all 5 days, right? And it's hard. I understand, it might be pretty hard right now. So we don't have a check-in, check-out now, right? Because when we hire, we always hire really good people, right? Who knows what is discipline. We don't want to teach discipline to someone. I'm not here to see who is coming where. I'm a team of 50 people, right? I don't know if all 250 people are working or not. I don't know, right? I just trust them. To trusting them, we need the people who can be trusted. And how you can be trusted? Discipline, right? What you say, you do, that's it. Right? If you are committed something, you do it, that's it. That's what we need. So that's where I think I joined S&P Global, and this approach, some of this approach, right? Obviously hardworking at the time, maybe 17 years back, that was a skill, or that was a difficult to get it, I would say. Nowadays it's not. It's easy to find people who work 18 hours. It's very easy. Who can work 18 hours a day for all 6 days, 7 days. But now I don't need those people. I want people who can complete their work in 6 hours. Right? I don't want people who are sitting on a desk. No. I want the people who are roaming around, complete their work fast, help others, and go home and enjoy their life. So the culture changes, right? Before 15 years and now what we are talking about. So for that, so that's where my journey started. Obviously I worked pretty hard, and I'm now not expecting all of you to work so hard, but I obviously want all of you to be disciplined, which will certainly help you. I want all of you to improve your listening skill, right? Because when sir was mentioning, even though I am sitting there, I wanted to see what's on the screen. So you must have seen, right? I was rotating my head and seeing what sir is talking about. That's a listening skill, right? I don't want to, I'm like in S&P Global Associate Director, I don't want to know this. No, I wanted to hear each and every word, what sir mentioned and what the other sir mentioned as well. Maybe knowing or accepting those thoughts is my choice, right? What I am saying, it's not necessary, it's all true. It's up to you, right? But listen, process in your mind. If it's related to you, sir is making sense, take it. If you think it's not making sense, throw it out. but at least listen and process in your mind, right? So that's the approach I think I would highly recommend all of you to utilize in your 5 days. And then obviously in S&P Global I started working pretty hard and then slowly moved from different positions, and now I'm associate director. Now coming back to what sir mentioned, and I think maybe little bit back of that as well, 2023, a little bit back to that, right, 2021. So that's where we started the automation project, where as sir mentioned, you know, there is always a job. Jobs are abundance, right? Talent is also abundance, but it's very difficult to connect, right? It's so hard to hire people. It's so hard to keep them engaging, fulfilling their requirement. You know, it's so hard, right? So we started automation project in fundamental data. So basically, what we do in my team is all the fundamental analysis, right? Across the globe, income statement, balance sheet, cash flow, you know, all the ratios, we do all that, right? We have a team of 1700 people just doing that. Even though it's a Chinese document, we'll process that. Even though it's a Japanese document, we'll process that, right? Because we have a translation team as well, who translate the whole document into English, and then we process it, right? Now, before 3 years, we started working on automation project where we want machine to do a lot of things, right? So the whole translation process, because now, I mean, you might have everything in your mobile itself, right? All the translation process are automated. Most of the fundamentals job is automated. You know, so in fact, we reduced our staff by 300 people in just last 2 years, in just my team, right? So we need less people now. You know, we used to have a pretty big data factory, but we don't want to be pretty big. We wanted to be agile. We wanted to be small, right? Because the technology is changing so fast. If we just think about this, right? If you are on a Titanic, right, and you see 10 miles ahead an iceberg, right? It's so difficult to turn around, right? But now if you are on a small steamer, it's so easy. Even though it's half a mile away, you're able to turn around, right? So you wanted to be like that, right? And most of the companies in the world wanted to be like that, because nobody knows, right? Sir predicted about 2027, but we don't know what's happening in 2040, right? So we don't want to create such a huge workbench or the quantum of employees which we can't manage at the end, right? Which also means there are plenty of opportunities, right? So what you study makes sense, you know, let's continue, because domain knowledge is always required, right? Understanding the fundamental principles are always needed, even for machines, because machine does the basic work, but somebody has to review that as well, right? Maybe as a business analyst, maybe as a how to make machine more faster, more accurate. Those people are still needed. Nobody nowadays is, I would say, can stay away from technology. Each and every individual, even though you are in HR, finance, marketing, you have to understand the technology. When I say technology, that doesn't mean you have to go and learn programming. No. At least how to use the technology, right? You all have this AI in WhatsApp, right? How many of you used it? Right? Maybe few of you. So how you can continue to use it? So maybe when there is another improvement comes, you know something, right? You're able to move to the new improvement a little faster. But if you are disconnected, and if there are like 5 more steps to that, then it would be very difficult for all of you to catch up. So that's what I suggest, you know, be in technology, understand where the world is going. World is changing really, really fast, even for corporates, and maybe faster than educational institute, because there is a monetary benefit attached, right? Each corporate has to perform on their financials every single day, every quarter, every year. People ask questions, you know, investor ask very hard question, where you are in technology, how you are able to reduce your workforce, where are the savings coming from, you know. So we are much ahead in a game, and even though you are in here, and as sir mentioned, you have so much of a facility, right? Such a big group here. Maybe even though there are what, at least 100 students for MBA, right? You can make a group, have those group discussion where the world is going. What are the new things we can learn apart from your basic curriculum, right? There is no sense in getting all A grades in your education, and then when you go in a job market you are outdated. Don't be there, right? Play your cards equally on everything, learn each and everything, and when you see a light that this is the best thing, this is what I enjoy, this is what I wanted to do for another 10 years, put your all efforts there, right? So that's how my suggestion is for all of you. So we'll talk about power of networking. As I said, I got my job because of Abhishek. He referred me in S&P Global. If I didn't have a connection in my MBA, I might not be here. And I am here today because of networking only, right? Abhishek called me that we have a plan to come. I said yes. If he didn't refer me on that day, I might not be here, right? So that's the connection of network. And this, as sir mentioned, I think this is the best juncture of your life, right? Where, as I say, do everything, right? It's your college life. You have to have a fun. You have to have a outing. You have to have a go on a trip with your friends. Do all that thing, right? But build strong connections, right? And I am telling you, if you go to the next slide, please. This is very important, right? Most of the jobs in the market, when you see on the job portal, most of the jobs are already filled. You see on the newspaper, what you see on the LinkedIn, what you see on the career page of that particular company, you just see 30%. 70% already filled. How? Reference. Right? Networking. Now, if you get 50%, if you get 70, if you get 90, doesn't matter. But if you have a right networking skill, you will get the job. All with me, everyone?
Yes.
Understand, especially MBAs, I think this is really important. I feel for all of you because that's the only reason I am here today. I'll also share another example, a little bit practical, because if you can go to the next slide. This is pretty easy. PPT, most of the corporates are now staying away from PPT, so we don't build any PPTs, we don't have any presentations now. It's always a memo and it's always an email, right? But still, for this audience, I thought something very easy. Okay, but I'll not go into all the details here. Right. So another example, right? So how are you able to connect to your job or your dream job? You are finance or HR or marketing or your dream job. MBAs or even BBAs, right? I think it's so important for BBAs as well to do a job before they actually go for it. That's what I feel personally. But you have a dream job. I'm not going to say right now, share with me. No, but think about it. Do you all have just nod your head, right? Do you all have your dream job in your mind? Right? You can so just think about it, right? Right? What is your dream job? What it needs? And probably you don't want to be very sticky right now because the jobs are changing so fast, very fast. So maybe what you are thinking right now, after 3 years or 4 years, which I wanted to take, right? Maybe today or after 2 months. What is your dream job? Just write it down. Against that, what is your strength, opportunities, weakness? See, you have to prepare. So I'll give you another example, and then we'll talk about this, right? So I'm changing my recently in S&P Global only. I'm changing my role to a data transfer 50 people. My team consists of people across the India from 20 states. We go to Bangalore, we go to Delhi to hire people, right? But now, because I see what sir mentioned, the world is changing. World is changing really, really fast. And I think that I also need to change. I don't want to stick to one job, even though it's so comfortable. Even though very comfortable job, I work only and my job is done. Weekends, I don't need to work on stress, nothing, pretty comfortable. But I don't the job is changing fast, so you have to write when the change is happening. Otherwise, you will be behind. So, exactly, I was talking to sir that I am now working on a project which is using a chat and how we can reduce the effort, the human effort, where they are doing a lot of admin work, right? And how we can do the same thing with machine, and then human can be utilized in a better way in terms of auditing that, training machine, so that right now I'm doing, let's say, 100 documents, I can do 1,000 documents in the future, So the scale which I'm talking about can be only achieved. So that's where I'm working. So now, within my company, right, job portal, so you go and find the job and you apply, right? On the portal, the 70% jobs are already filled. Even for me, even for within the company, 35,000 people, right? You don't know who is working where. So what I started is, what is my goal? Where I wanted to be after 5 years, right? So I write it down. Literally, I write it down on the spreadsheet, Excel, that where I wanted to be. And then I match it with where I am expert at, right? So I said, okay, I did this a data transmission project in my team. I can do the same thing in next team as well, right? So I write it down. And then I see who are the people who owns that team, right? You reach out to people on email, and then you reach out to few people, and then show that I'm interested in this kind of work and those kind of a thing, So what I mean is, the job is still not in the market. Even the manager has not thought about that I will have this job in the future. But I reach that I might need this kind of a job in the future, and I'm a right candidate. And that's how I got the job, right? Even though, so I started as an internship basically. You might be a little surprised, but even in a corporate, even after working 17 years, even at such a big level, we have an internship concept. You go and check yourself. And you're still interested in that kind of a job, the job excites you, the hiring manager also checks that is the jigger is good for this job or not, and then it clicks. If everything works well, it clicks, and I got the job, right? So that's what is very important. If you are building something, so for example, it's a pretty big example, but let's say this, right? After 3 years, you are building a pressure cooker, right? Simply pressure cooker you are building, but man doesn't need pressure cooker now. It needs, for example, air fryer. So your 3 years is waste. Agree, everyone? But if you are able to understand what the customer, because you'll have a customer, right? What your customer needs, where you are going to do a job is your customer. If you are able to gauge that, you'll not see that very clearly, right? You'll at least have a bit of a blur picture, but you know how the world will look like after 3 years. What are the jobs in demand? Am I interested in that? This. So after 3 years, this would be the job. But if you start preparing for that job right now, correct, it would be pretty easy to get a job. And I am telling you, if you use this approach, you will get your dream job. You will get your dream company, right? But if you just go without any purpose, it would be very hard to land in a right job. It would be very hard to land in a right job. And once you start a wrong, I would say, it would waste your lot of years. If you start, I don't know, maybe a local company, some market, hard time to catching up, right? So the first step first is so important to land in a right company, right culture, and understand, the well. You need a company. You also here, but then the marketing video, right, where the manager was did to be there for their non-performance. Using no, right? So if you don't start thinking of, right, each culture of learning, culture of respect, ideas, right? You wanted to be in a company with this idea and your manager always rejected. We discussed. We wanted that my thoughts into it. That that's why I feel this networking so I talked more, but that's not only the purpose. Just think about this, right? And I think we had a great and we always debate. We always have a debate. Someday on a perspective, you are going wrong. They tell you that, buddy, this is a wrong way to go forward, right? So that's the company you wanted to build, right? The company, I mean the people around you. You don't want people around you who are nowadays in a corporate, we always call about the B player, right? You don't want to be around B players. You wanted to be around A players, people who are better than you. You don't want to be with the people who don't know anything, who doesn't have a purpose, who doesn't care about education, who doesn't care about job because his father has a business. But maybe your father doesn't have a business, right? So you should have a right for your purpose and you should strictly on that. This is the best time of your career. Just think about it. If you fly a plane from let's say Los
that's fine. You are late. Fine, you know, then create
wish
today. He was
first of all, thank you so much. जगह पे और यहाँ पे बैठा हूँ अपने जूनियर्स को खुद का एक्सपीरियंस बता रहे हैं, तो मैं अपना एक्सपीरियंस स्टोरी बताना चाहूँगा कि मैं मेरे घर का वो लड़का हूँ कि जिनको पेरेंट्स बोलते हैं कि बेटा बस तू पास बाकी कुछ इसलिए बट डिपार्टमेंट खुद के बच्चों को सिखाएंगे फैमिली मेंबर उनको मैंने याद है टीचर में कि आपसे कौन सीआर बनना चाहेगा, तो हमारी क्लास में ये सामने वाली क्लास थी हमारी, तो कुछ नियर 15 से 20 बच्चे आ गए थे कि मैं बनूंगा मैं बनूंगा, तो मुझे सीआर क्या होता है सीआर लेकिन पर्सनल फिर मैं कॉलेज आगे की प्रोसेस है कि वो आपको सारी चीजें मैं आज इतना फॉर श्योर भी सवानी में नहीं हूं तो मेरे लिए इन्फॉर्मेशन नहीं आता आज ऐसा करने के मैं मैंने जैसे अपॉर्चुनिटीज है अगर काम करो मिनिमम 30,000 जो एम्प्लॉइज काम जो मशीन चलाते हैं उनकी उनको ना ही कोई फैसिलिटी और मशीन चला रहे हैं 30,000 सैलरी है अब क्या फर्क है प्रॉपर गाइडेंस उनके पास प्रॉपर बात नहीं था उनको कोई समझाने वाला नहीं था कि उनको क्या है कि आप लोगों के पास वो बेनिफिट है वो अपॉर्चुनिटी सारी चीजें लेवल से हमारा वो मत करो थोड़ा मेहनत करेगी जैसे मैंने बिजनेस ज्वाइन किया है वो ऐसे वो आपके थैंक यू
So much for joining us today. And let's move ahead. I would like to invite our guest over here. I would like to present our guest to the audience. I would first like to call upon Abhishek sir to present a memento to Dr. Kishore.
summarize, and their endless efforts successful. I also you will also be